your younger generation out there now, you're leaving too much, some of you are leaving too much rubbish behind, and it's causing major problems, particularly anywhere, but particularly in this area. I've born and lived in Bundaberg all my life, and I've seen a lot of places in the last 20 years that have been closed, that are prime camping grounds, prime camping sites, away from the crowd, in secluded little places, looking over the beach or looking over the river with ideal fishing conditions, basically crabbing, just walk out your tent, throw a crab pot out, pull back in, you've got to feed a crab pot by the end of the day. Prime spots, and they're all closed because people did not respect the bushes and the beaches. And this is what will happen. We're going to have to start doing something to rectify this now. It's about time, and it's great that Luke has started this program, and it's really taken off. It's actually, there's even people from overseas that are really interested in this. So thanks for Luke for sending me up. I know Luke's going to send me up some more when he gets a chance to, and I'm going to start handing some out around Bundaberg as well. I've got 2 here, so I'm going to keep these 2 for myself, to use for myself. But as soon as Luke's got a chance to send me up some, he's going to send as many as he can, and I'm going to hand them out around the areas in Bundaberg. So yeah, so if you're interested in one and you live locally in the area, let me know, see what I can do, get a couple to you as soon as I can. Now I showed you these bags the other day. So the difference with these bags is that this one, so what I've got is the one with the Drifter Camping and 4Drive, Mr. Buckaroo Safari and Drifter Stockton. So remember I mentioned they were going to be sent away back down to Drifter to get some Velcro sewn on them. So here they are. So there's the Velcro. You can see what a great idea that is. So you can put the rubbish inside and you can seal that up, and none of that rubbish will blow away or anything. And what Luke does, he actually straps them onto his spare wheel tire at the back of the vehicle, which is a great idea with a couple of straps. So that's the finished product. So those who go pick them up at any of the 3 Drifter stores, one located at Gosford, the one at Gloucester, and the one at the Brendale store in Queensland, just north of Brisbane, on the suburbs of Brisbane. And you can pick these bags up from there, and you should be able to pick up 2 bags for free. Otherwise you can get these online, either through the Snatch website. The boys at the 24 4x7, I think it is, 4x4 guys, it's Graham and Sean. They've kicked in, and they're providing these through their Snatch clothing website as well. Otherwise you can go to Drifter's website, which is www.drifter.com.au, and for the price of just the postage you get these sent out to you. Otherwise, a better thing to do is to actually purchase something and then just put in the comments that you want a couple of these bags, and I'll throw these bags in there for free, and there won't be any additional postage. So whatever the postage is for the items that you purchase from their website is all you'll be charged, and these 2, you grab these as a bonus. Now if you want any extra, you can purchase extra. They're not expensive. I think they're probably $5 or so on for 2 at the time of this video recording, as far as I know, about a week ago. So, but just go on the website and check that. Now, the Respect the Bush campaign has really taken off. So those who are in it, thank you very much. We really appreciate that, and I think it's a great cause, and Ashlyn, I think it is. Thanks for starting this program. I think you've done a wonderful job, and I'm sure you'll be as excited as I am with these new stickers. Respect the beach, save the turtle sticker. I think they're awesome, because as you know, I used to be a turtle researcher. Now, I'll talk a bit about that. With turtle research, I used to volunteer to do that. So it all started back in approximately back in 97. I think it was about 97, 98. Might even have been a bit earlier. I think it was 97 season. I started volunteering out at the local Monrepos Beach in the information centre. So at Monrepos, they've got like organised tours you can go to that's organised by the Queensland Parks and Wildlife Service. So you pay a small fee and then you go in, and while you're waiting for the turtles to come up onto the beach to lay their nests, or the little hatchlings to go run back down onto the beach, the rangers there, there's a few rangers there, and they'll conduct videos and so on, and explain how the process works, how the turtles come up and lay the eggs, and what to expect when you go down to the beach and so on. So I started sort of working around there in the shops, and then I started, after the second year, I started taking groups down onto the beach. And then I became a tour guide for a little while. So, and then with the tour guide, I got to spend more time with the sea turtles up on the beach. And I really loved it, enjoyed it thoroughly. They're wonderful, wonderful creatures, the sea turtles, if you could call them a creature. And I started doing a little bit of research, which combined of recording tags, measuring their carapace, checking for any damage, etc. And I learned how to attach the tags onto the turtles. So if they're titanium tags, so if the turtle comes up onto the beach, we add the tags onto them. And that's where my interest led to. So I joined the Queensland Turtle Research Team, which was run by Dr. Cole Limpus and his son Duncan Limpus at the time, but it was mainly run by Dr. Cole Limpus. So from about 2001 onwards up until about, 3-4 years ago, every season I'd go out and do turtle research for Cole's team. And because I've done it for so many years, it was great to see the responsibility that they gave me, and they respected that I've been there for so long, and with the knowledge that I've had with the research program, and knowing how to identify turtles, how to identify damage, how to tag, how to measure the turtles and so on. We get a lot of, particularly in the research base, we got a lot of uni students and so on that came, and they spend like 2 weeks there at a time. So I used to go down on the beach and train them. You know, what to look for, where to walk, you know, how to approach a turtle without scaring them back into the water, particularly while they're laying their eggs. Even to the point where we get some turtles coming in where they'd have their flippers totally missing because they're bitten off by a shark. But even though they may not have any flippers, say they got 2 hind flippers missing, or one totally missing and the other side is only half the length, it's amazing they'll still come up the beach and do that action. Even though they cannot reach down, they will still try to attempt to dig that nest. So what I used to do is I used to crawl up behind them, and luckily for us they got such a big carapace, so their head is hidden and they cannot see us. So I used to crawl up behind them, and very carefully, without touching them, laying on my belly, I used to dig for them. So as one flipper comes in on one side, as soon as she removes that flipper, to get ready to move the other flipper over, I'd quickly dig in as fast as I can, and then vice versa, and then the other side. And eventually we get them to lay their eggs. So it's quite a successful program to do. And I reckon I was pretty good at it too. I remember there was one turtle in particular, for many nights they tried to get this girl to lay her eggs. And I came across her one night and I saw her and I saw she struggled. So I went behind her and she laid all her full clutch of eggs. And then when I filled out the form and I took it back to the lab, Cole or some of the other people saw it and they said, "How in the world did you get that turtle to lay her eggs?" We had so many researchers and volunteers trying to dig the eggs for that. But it's just all experience, been doing it for so long. And another part, when the hatchling season came, I had the duty of also going down onto the beach and digging the eggs out. And these are very critical data, so it's very important that the data was collected accurately. So we will dig the eggs out without breaking them. So the eggs are kind of laid arm's length down, and it'd be on average, if they're loggerheads, you got an average about 125 eggs are laid. But the greens, we didn't get too many green turtles along our coastline. Here is mostly loggerhead turtles, particularly in Mon Repos, which is a good thing because the loggerhead turtles are a critically endangered species worldwide, and probably one of the very few places in the world that I know of where the numbers are actually climbing is at Mon Repos. So the research program has proven that it's working, so it's very successful, and we're really starting to see the benefits of that now with the number of turtles that are coming up onto the beach to lay their nests. So you got to be unlucky to go there to not see a turtle. So as a tourist, if you go there, you pay your money. Of course, there's no guarantee. It's wildlife, it's nature. There's no guarantee provided that you're actually going to see any turtles. So you just don't know with nature, particularly early in the season and later in the season, where later in the season you've got more chance of seeing the hatchlings, you'll see something. But if you go real early in the season, there's a good chance you may not see anything. So if you go sort of, quarter way in the season through onwards, there's a good chance you're going to see something. And if you want to go, my suggestion is to book early. So it's very popular, and they do limit the numbers. Okay, so there are number limiters, and you go onto the beach in a group. So as far as I know, the group's something between 60 to 70. So once they've got those first 60, 70 that's booked for that night, that's your number one group. That's the first group. So whatever activity happens down on the beach first, you will go down, and then so on. And I believe it goes up to about group 6 or something, 5 or 6. So you got about group 5 or 6. So if you're in that late group, you can, even saying so, even if you go on the early group, just be prepared, you may have a late night. It could be after midnight. At times, it could be close to midnight before you actually will get down onto the beach to see the turtles. So a lot of it's to do with conditions as well, but I won't go too much into that. And if you get a chance to go see it, it really is an incredible experience to see. I mean, you'll get a good opportunity to see the turtles, because the turtles, once they, a lot of people probably don't realise, once they come up onto the beach and once they've laid those 25 eggs, mainly depending on the turtle itself, but on average, once they've laid their 25 eggs, they're perfectly happy to accept us. There's no problems at all. Then us researchers, we come in, we'll tag, we'll check the turtle, we'll measure it and so on, we'll check any damage and so on. We won't tag it until it's finished laying the eggs. Okay, so if it needs tagging, we'll wait till she's finished laying the eggs and started filling in, and then we will tag her. So we'll never tag them while they're laying the eggs. So if you get a chance to go down, check it out. You could be down on the beach anywhere from an hour, hour and a half, depending on what stage that the turtle is into the nesting process. So it's a process that takes quite some time. I was doing that for approximately, I don't know, up until 3-4 years ago, and I've taken a break from it now. And that was going through the whole nesting season, which is mostly about 5-6 months of the year, and it goes through the middle of the night. So there's many times I'd go down, I'd leave home about 6:30, even 5, and sometimes I wouldn't get back home till about 7:30 of the morning. It can go, but most of the time I'd be back home around 1 or 2. So I had free rein. I used to be able to go down any time I want, depending how busy they are. If they were really busy and they were a bit short on staff and they didn't have many experienced people, I used to go there on a daily basis until I just couldn't get any more sleep, too tired, and I just had to take a few days break off then. But it gave me some perks, and now that was all volunteer, okay, that was all volunteer. But I did get some perks in it, so I did get to go to some of the islands off the Queensland coast, for example, Northwest Island, which is hence northwest of Heron Island, and then Heron Island as well. So I got to go, and that was all covered. That never cost me anything. Okay, the marine, sometimes we go with the Marine Parks boat, they'll take us over there. Other times we'll go with the barge and they'll pay for us, and other times we'll go in the catamaran, and that's all paid for. So whenever I went to the islands, it was never out of pocket. I've always had funds to cover the costs, apart from when I was volunteering locally, the fuel driving back and forwards. Of course, I never covered with that. But I used to, one stage, I used to work along the entire coast here at Bundaberg where I live, and I used to drive down to the research base at Monrepose, and then I used to jump into the National Parks vehicle, and I'd use the National Park vehicle for the night to go and monitor the other beaches and do the research there. So they were really good with that, and they always offered assistance if I needed help. I went to a beach and there was a lot there, you know, a lot of activity and so on. I just jump on the radio or the phone, ring them up, and bring some, within no delay they had someone out there. And they were a great team to work with. Dr. Cole Lempis, the knowledge that man has got on sea turtles is just, I don't think there's anyone in the world that's got more knowledge than Dr. Cole Lempis. And it was great to work with him for so many years and to learn so much about these sea turtles. And it's quite a remarkable creature when you start learning about them and so on. So I loved it, and I'd love to get back into it again one day, but like I said, it does take a lot of time. It's harsh on your body, the hours, because it's right through the night, so it's long hours. Conditions as well, it could be storms, it could be lightning, it could be rain. Generally if there's lightning around, we will go off the beach and for safety and shelter, but if there's rain around and so on. But then it's usually normally through summer too, so it's quite pleasant, but it still can get quite cool down there. When I read that, Luke asked her why little Ashlyn, I think it is, why she wanted to do this, and she said it's because she wanted to save the turtles. So that's great. And as soon as I saw Luke come out with these turtles, and he sent me a picture of these before they were released, and then I saw he mentioned on the Facebook group one day that he's going to hand all these out to the kids. So I sent him a message and say, what about us big kids, Luke? So the other day, I got in the post, there's about 4 or 5 of those stickers rocked up in the mail, so it's great. So I'm probably going to put some more on the sides of the vehicles to make sure they stand out, because of my passion with the sea turtles and so on, and the amount of work I've done with it. This is just an impromptu video. It's more like a vlog, if you could call it a vlog. It's a bit like a vlog. Now hopefully today, the item I mentioned yesterday in the video, that I've got some new products that's coming, that's sent to me from Drifter, and they're Drifter Stockton. So Luke called me last Friday and said if I was interested in doing some review videos for him of some of the products he sent to me. So he sent them up to me for free, and hopefully it'll be here in the next couple of days. As far as I know, they haven't been posted yet. They're still sitting in Brisbane. They're pretty busy in the warehouse in the store in Brisbane at the moment. But I've got my fingers crossed it'll turn up today. because I particularly want to try it out and test it before I go away camping next week. So I plan to go away for 3 nights and catch up with a few mates of mine that I've met over the past couple of years. So we've got some that's coming down from Mackay, and we've got others that's coming up from Brisbane, and others from Kingaroy. Don't know if there's any others coming in, but that's still a fair stretch of our state. And we're going to meet up at 1770, which is a nice little town. So I'll do a bit of filming of that. And this time I'll do a bit of filming of our campsite, our group and so on as well. And also the new products that's coming in. But I plan to have a couple of videos out before then if I can, particularly this weekend, with this particular setup in the backyard and maybe down on the beach as well. So until then, for those that have gone right through and watched right through the end, thank you very much.